for the Blue Couch Studios tour?
Yes.
Come on in.
Ma'am.
Welcome to my home.
Show us in here.
As you can see, this is my house. I'm gonna make this video so I can show you guys kind of a quick tour of what facilities have, how we built this thing, what the construction was like, the acoustic treatment, some of the equipment. We're still a little work in progress on some stuff, but overall, I want you guys to be able to see what the experience is going to be like. So if you guys want, go ahead and follow me upstairs.
All right. Let's do this.
We did build this as an addition to the attic. So there's little Guinea. All right, so welcome up. This is the control room. Come on in, check it out. Still a little bit of a work in progress, but we've got the control desk here. We've got a little lounge area. We've got another little lounge area here. Let's bring it back here. Right behind you, we've got a restroom. Also doubling as a isolation booth in case we need something to that degree. But this is it. This is the basics. This is where the magic gets happening. So right now I'm working on, I've got a project I'm working on, and I'm trying to get some patch bays hooked up. So we've got a, looks like a Behringer 2448 balanced multifunctional TRS patch bay that I'm going to hook up so I can have a little bit more access to my equipment. Let me get a little bit of light on in here. So here's a few things that we've got for the equipment. Running everything through this, just a pre-Sonus, pretty easy, an 1824C. It's their latest studio. It's got 8 mic ends. It's got the capability of getting up to 24 channels. You got to do a few configurations, but it works. Preamps, what we're using, are really focused on trying to get the signal in as beautiful as I can get it. But preamps, we're using a DBX for vocals. 286S has a really smooth classic sound. They've been making these things forever. Just picked these up. These are Universal Audio. The Twinfinity 710s. These things are gorgeous sounding. They're tube preamps. And you throw electric guitar on it, or you put any sort of vocals in there, and those sound great. We've got a reverb called V-Verb. This is pretty cool as well, to have kind of that analog pre-amp reverb before you send it into the DAW. This one's pretty badass. This is a Neve 1073. It's the DPX, which is more their modern version. So it's got a few more options than the classic, but it's still got that Neve sound. But I got 2 channels of that. I'm gonna run drums through there. And then I've got this Warm Audio 4-channel, 412, and we're gonna run drums through there as well. So there's some of the basics. We do have a monitor control here, and everything's gonna run through Logic at this point. But still, once again, a work in progress. Once I get the patch cables set up, I'll do a video on how I set all that stuff up, but really excited to be able to kind of play around with the preamps. But let's go ahead and head into the live room. Okay, just a quick, we got a little kitchenette set up here. Obviously when you're taking a break, if you need to warm up some food or pop the Keurig. Let's see what's in the fridge here. Not much of anything. This is just a little storage bin for guitar cases and mic stands and a vacuum. All right, so come on in. This is the live room here. Let's get get into action here. So welcome to the live room. Come on in. We had this thing built from the ground up. It did not exist at all. It was technically part of the attic, but we pushed out and built a dormer. It's a good size for recording full bands. I believe we're probably somewhere around 450, 500 square feet, so it's pretty hefty size for what we're doing. So part of the construction, like I said, we actually floated the floor up here in the attic. I'll send a couple links here and images to show you guys exactly what that means. But this floor is sitting on joists, so you have your joist, and the floor is actually sitting on these rubber U-boats, they call them. And that's how this thing decouples the sound from going downstairs into the house. Really cool process, took forever. Within each of the joists is mineral wool, Owens and Corning, like insane thick mineral wool. We got the stuff that's like that thick, so hardly any sound gets through to the house downstairs, believe it or not. The walls, we did a ton of treatment on these walls. On one side of the wall, on the back side, is a layer of drywall and a layer of plywood with green glue in between. Then you have the 2x4 studs, and each of the 2x4 studs has a resilient channel, which is basically an air gap in between these studs and the next layer of drywall. And then we did 2 more layers of drywall on this side and put green glue in between that. So it's a total of 4 layers of drywall, resilient channel, green glue, and I believe that's everything. Very similar in the ceiling. The ceiling treatment was very similar. We did a couple layers of drywall, tons of mineral wool. Same thing on the inside of this wall, and all the walls is the thick 4-inch mineral wool. But I'll send some images of construction so you guys can kind of see how that process went. But we went to some extreme measures to make sure that when you're in this box recording, that we're not disturbing the neighbors, excuse me, that we're not disturbing the household downstairs, since we are an attic of some sort, a converted attic studio. In fact, we played around with that name a little bit. Should we be Blue? The reason we went with Blue is my last name. I got my music from my dad, David Blue, and that's where I got my last name from. So I figured I'd carry the music on with that name, of course. And then is it Blue Couch? Since we decided on a blue couch, did we do Blue Couch Studios or Blue Attic? Well, the attic thing seemed a little played out, so we went for the blue couch. We know tons of music is going to get made on this blue couch. So thank you, IKEA, for the blue couch. That's where we got it. So over here, you might notice we actually have a second control desk set up. I've got a Zoom live track here. None of this is hooked up yet. The monitors are. And we've got an M8. If you guys don't have one of these, it's awesome. Samsung M8. It's like basically a TV, smart TV and monitor in one. It's got a camera in it as well. It's super sweet. Anyway, so this serves a couple purposes. I'm also a musician, and I'll be writing a lot of my own stuff here. So if I want to be a producer and musician at the same time, I can work from this desk and use a remote to my main desk, and that way I can record the music in here with the studio and have access to my main desk. So really, really cool process there. My guitars, my guitar setup here. We got this really cool thing called a Delisle, and I have not hooked this up yet, but I'll send a video once I do. This is a speaker selector. So basically, with all the amps I've got, I'm able to select which amp I want, which speaker I want, just like a regular studio would. And if an artist wants to come in here and, I want the Marshall amp, but I want to go through this Black Star speaker, Celestians, then we'd be able to select that instead of having to change a bunch of chords. So just like on the front desk, doing a little bit of cord management so we can be a little bit more efficient when we get this first project going here shortly. Little mic station here and our window. So these windows were custom made. They are, I believe, triple paned. So they block sound about as much as a window can. Technically, windows don't block that much sound, but they do have this really cool seal on them. So that seal technically has a ton of soundproofing properties. So that's why we went with these. And obviously, I don't want to be in a studio that's a box. I want to be able to see outside and have the sun come in. But we did add these soundproofing curtains that we can shut that will actually act as a some kind of an acoustic panel and deaden the sound so less goes outside. And they actually work. They work really well. So we have that option to us as well. This is just a little mic station. We've got our Stedman screens here. These are cleanable. So, you know, you see all the cheap pop filters, that those things just get so gross, so dirty. This one, actually, you can come back through and clean it. It's a little bit of a metal grate. Right here, this is a Neuman 102. So we got our Neuman 102 in here ready to rock. Got a few other mics just set up just to go, but nothing too fancy. A couple Sanheissers. I think this is a P48 Rode NT1, I believe actually is what that is. It might be an NT1. Some Sanheisser drum. But anyway, then we got our Shure SM7B ready to rock. This thing sounds sweet when you mic it right. But basically, the vocalist can come in here very easily once the rhythm track is laid. This room is soundproofed and it's got a good acoustic treatment, so the vocalist can come in here at like an isolation booth, get their headphones on, listen to their track, and very comfortably make lay down those what do you call it? What do you call it? Vocal. Lay down the lyrics, man. I don't know what else. Anyway, so there's that. Of course, every live room would not be the same without some drums. Courtesy of my dad, David Blue. He set up this Tama Star Classic for us. It's already mic'd up. We've got a 4 mic setup right now. We're about to update this to an 8 mic setup. So look for that video coming soon. But we're going to do 2 kick mics. I'm going to do more of a room mic here. These are going to stay. We're going to do snare top and bottom. And we're going to hit the toms with this Sanheisser's. I heard those sound good. And one of the projects we're working on right now is a lot of double bass and tom work. So we're going to get that set up to sound just boom, 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 just like a freight train coming your way. So there's that. I've got a little bit of bass equipment in the back. But I want to talk more about the acoustic treatments. Hey, little Gito, little nugget. So as you can see on the walls here, these acoustic treatments, if I would have bought them from an acoustic company, they would have cost an arm and a leg. But I actually made these, and I'm going to go through the process of how I made these to show you guys how easy it is, but also how well they work. I don't know if you can catch this on the mic or not, but so you can hear my voice now. Now come a little closer. I don't know if you can tell, but the voice just literally deadens down. So this just takes and absorbs that sound. Very cool thing. But we did treat these here, these 5. Right behind you, there's a blank wall. This is the one that I'm going to be creating to pop up here, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to create it. All right, go straight up. So you'll notice there's even some treatments to the wall or to the ceiling. We left the wood exposed for a reason. We want that reverberation. We want that sound of the open wood. But I also treated it with these, I might have a handy one right here. Yes, here's a loose one right here. So as you can see, this is an actual acoustic panel itself. These things are, I purchased these from a company I think called Acoustic Solutions, but this is the same thing as the mineral wool that's in the wall, but it's compressed down real small. So we had these glued up here, and they're right above the listing area for a reason, to block any sort of those first reverberations from the monitors. So it looks like I'm actually going to need one more right here. But so there's one way we've treated this room. I'll show you another way that we've treated this room to help it the acoustics. This back wall. So this back wall, the company is called the Wood Veneer Company, but they make this beautiful wood paneling, basically is what it is, and they come in these 1 foot by 8 foot pieces, and you just place them up there next to each other, and it looks like it's just this whole wall of wood paneling. It's gorgeous. But the cool thing, the reason we went with this one is because just like that piece of compressed mineral wool I showed you, the back side of this, the black on where the wood is attached to, is actually an acoustic panel. So it absorbs sound. It also diffuses the sound. So I wanted to make sure we put that behind the drums to really get those drums. It's a small room for drums, so it gives it a little bit more of a compressed sound, but also diffuses the sound a little bit. So it gives the drums a really cool sound. We've had a couple drummers in here already, and the sound is really coming through nice on the set. So happy about that. We also did something else for the acoustics for the drums. Let me show you this. So if you can look up, I don't know, Lita, can you see the, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these are also acoustic panels. These were specifically designed for the ceilings. They have the little holes in them to diffuse a little and absorb. And then you'll see the black foam. So the foam really doesn't stop sound. It just kind of soaks it up. And we're using those as bass traps. So this is directly above the drums for a reason. It flattens the drum sound, takes all the air out of the drums here, and then what we do is we take and put the drum room ambience and all that stuff after we record. So really cool sound that comes out of the drums here that we basically get to work with a dead drum sound. It really absorbs it up. And then in the corners you can see our bass traps. We did use the same Wood Veneer Company to create the traps. And those obviously take the bass and don't let it get stuck and reverberate throughout the corners. So very cool stuff. As far as the floor goes, all we did with the floor, there's a rug down, and I may even pull the rug up. I'm not 100% sure there yet. I want to do a couple recordings with it and without it. But the wood flooring actually helps your mids and highs in a music room. We put a very thin piece of carpet down, and that's to cover up some of the wires, but also it helps with the absorbing of the sound. So there's some basics of what we've done to treat this room. It is, I would say, 95% soundproof. You can be on the other side of this door in the control room and not hear what's going on in here. You could be in the house watching TV. You could be taking a nap, and the sound you hear is like a distant radio playing. It's really I'm really pleased with the soundproofing, really the isolation of the sound side of it. And then on the acoustic side, we did a lot of treatments as well, so that this room, since it's not a huge hall like some of the bigger studios like the church, it is really more of a chance for us to deaden the sound so that we can treat it with whatever After Effects, whatever plugins we want to treat it with. So really, really good stuff. Let me show you one more cool thing about the doorway. So as you'll notice, there's kind of a door in a door. Well, this door here isn't mounted. It's not on a hinge, and that's on purpose because it's super heavy, and maybe someday we will. But this door serves as a plug. So it plugs the second doorway and absorbs anything that's trying to escape the room. So really cool addition there. So if we're trying to really isolate this room, or we have a live band in here, we can plug it up and not have any sort of sound escape. And then at the doorway, if you can come this way a little bit, these things are really cool. So I got this from Acoustic Solutions, and I'll send a link on that. But basically, we pulled the door, what's it called? The door jamb, or whatever that piece is, that strip that goes here that stops the door. We pulled it off and we put this on. So this actually is a really thick and soundproof jamb. So when you pull this thing shut, I mean, you got to really pull it to lock it in there, but it seals. You can even probably hear that my voice has changed a little bit because there's no air escaping, no sound escaping. It's a very, very cool addition to help make this room soundproofed. I am missing the bottom piece. They did not send us exactly everything they needed to send us, so a little upset about that, but that piece should be on order. But it serves as a normal door, and you can come and go as you need, or if we really need those soundproof capabilities, we can do things. That's basically Blue Couch Studios in a nutshell. I am going to go ahead and start heading back this way. Come on out. If you want to get a quick shot of the doorway there, got a cool little step up into the room. And here's the other side of these panels, or these jambs. I mean, they seal shut. It's pretty cool. Anyway, this is the gallery wall on the way out. You guys can see that. This is what we got so far. My company stuff, really cool. Obviously the recording light, I could get that popped on for you, so you guys can see how that works. I don't know how to get it going, but
Looks good.
There we go.
Looks good now.
Okay, so we got the recording light going, and just some images here. But Sterling, one of my best friends my whole life, he does prints. He does an awesome job on prints, by the way, that he makes. And he gave me this one, I believe, for either Christmas or my birthday or some special occasion. And then this is from a guy that I like called Jermaine. He does concert prints, so this is actual concerts that happened. This one was February 17th, some year ago, I don't know, but this is 148 of 150 made, so pretty proud about that. There's ACL. This is also a print. This Deftones is a print. I was actually at this show, 3/29 of 2013. This is also from Jermaine. He signed it. He only made 150 of those, and that's number like 75 of 115. I don't know. But I love my prints. I've got a couple more here. Tool. There was only 100 of these made, and there's a matching pair. So there's a Jesus and a Mary matching. This one's number 18 of 100. The cool thing is this is also number 18 of 100. So it's the matching pair. I'm really proud of that. This is ACL from 2019. Badass show. Peppers, Metallica, I believe. Maybe Paul McCartney. I don't know. I can't remember all the artists that were there, but it was an awesome show. But had this frame as a momentum. Plus, once again, another print. I'm not sure who the artist is. We covered the artist. No, we didn't. It's there. I don't know the artist's name, but this is that she made 200 of these. This is number 128 out of 200. So really cool little gallery. But anyway, that's it. Blue Couch Studios. Thank you for joining my tour. I'm going to have some videos about how we made the panels. I'm going to have some videos coming your way about some of the acoustic treatments, you know, what we did to build those. The what do you call it? The Behringer that I talked about at the beginning of the video, where we're doing the cable management. I'm going to show you guys how I set up my cable management for efficient workflow. So I want to also get a video out about the guitar, how we use the Delisle to do guitar selecting. So look for some more stuff to come as we get things set up. But that's it. I need to get you guys out of here. Let's get out of my house. This is my house and recording studio at the same time. I appreciate it. I'll let you guys get out of here and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Later.